Oh, I can cook too. On top of the rest, my seafood's the best in town.
Yes, I can cook too. My fish can't be beat, my sugar Swiss around.
Oh, I'm a gal's ideal of a perfect meal, right down to the demi-tasse.
I'm pot of joy for a hungry boy, baby. I'm cooking with gas.
Oh, I'm a gumdrop, a sweet lollipop, a brooked right out of the brook.
And what's more, baby, I can cook. What's cooking, Partridge? Oh yeah!
Hello, my name is Trevor, Dublin, and welcome to the 9th episode of What's Cooking Park Ridge. We're really happy to be here today at 103 Prime at Valentino's, right here in Park Ridge. And we're so happy that our wonderful hosts, Jerry and his dad, Angelo, have agreed to have us actually here in the kitchen. And he's going to show us a great meal, right?
Zuppe di pesce.
So you're cooking zuppe di pesce today, right? Yeah. So that's amazing. So Jerry, before we continue, did you want to bring your dad and maybe introduce him?
Yeah,
so
sure.
I know he's going to be the quiet storm in the background,
He's going
right?
to be cooking the food. We'll be talking about the food tonight.
So everyone, this is Angelo, right? So Angelo,
Colella.
so what city in Italy are you from?
From Bari.
Bari, Italy.
Okay.
So that's on the southern part of Italy.
East Coast. The Naples.
All right, so that's
Puglia region.
Awesome. So that's in the east coast of Italy,
So right before the heel.
So
Right north of the
wonderful.
heel.
All right, good. So the next time I'm there, I'm going to stay over at your house. Is that all right? Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much. I know you've got to go in the back and help us to prepare for this wonderful meal.
Very good.
All right. So we'll talk to you later. All right.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much. All right. So Jerry, just tell us a little something about your family's history, how you guys actually ended up here at this restaurant,
Okay.
because I know this restaurant has a history of,
In the
of a
history
lot
of restaurants,
right? Being here.
this building has housed a restaurant probably for over 100 years, I would say.
Wow.
Throughout the years, there have been a few restaurants, starting off with the Bluebird,
Right.
in the 1920s and 30s. Later on, in the 40s and 50s, I believe it was Il Gellerissimo. That was an Italian restaurant. From there, it went to a German restaurant, I believe, the Townhouse,
Right,
it was called.
right.
That was for a few years. And then it became, I think from the Townhouse, it turned into the Land House restaurant. And then in 1982, Valentino's came in, and we had that, and we ran that until 2013. We had a small fire here in 2013, which we did not, took a little time to reopen, and then we reopened in 2016 as the 103 Prime at Valentino's, kind of to pay a little homage to Valentino's, which was here a great number of years. And then we kind of blended a little bit of the traditional classic Italian food from Valentino's,
Okay.
and kind of put a little bit of modern twist on all the things, and then added the steak and seafood concept to it as well. So we do our dry aged steaks, market seafood every day, fresh market seafood. So we have a nice variety of things on the menu to kind of please any palate.
Right. So you're a modern Italian restaurant. You do seafood.
Correct.
You do steaks.
Try to cover.
You-
We try to cover most bases. In terms of, so we took a few dishes that we used to to carry along from Valentino's. Some of them we put a kind of a modern twist on some of the classics, and then and then bringing in dry aged steaks, cowboy ribeyes, porterhouses, New York strips, and then our market seafood we'll bring in fresh every day, day boat scallops, bronzino, halibut, salmon, tuna.
Wow.
So
You're making me hungry, man. You're making me hungry.
we're gonna start cooking very
so
soon.
There you go.
So we're gonna feed. We're gonna have some good food
That's
cooking
good.
today.
Go ahead, go
So
ahead.
and then like today with our zuppe di pesce, that's gonna be our highlight of the dish of what we're gonna do today. We're choosing that dish due to the fact that our family's from Bari, Italy. That town is known for their seafood. It's a port town. A lot of seafood gets brought through that town. So today we got nice mussels from PEI Canada. We have some little neck clams
you go.
out of Connecticut, some local calamari squid that we're doing from Rhode Island, and then we have some cold water lobster tails that we brought in as well today that we're going to put into the zuppe de pesce. Some day boat scallops, nice U10 day boat scallops, and then some wild caught shrimp, U10 shrimp that we're doing as well.
Amazing. So, you know, we're going to get to that, but I wanted to ask you, I know that this restaurant has hosted one of our presidents, number 37,
Number 37,
right?
yeah,
Here in
president number 37.
Right. And actually, our co-host, Lori, a little later in the show, she's going to, you know, feature that particular area where he sat, right? And we'll talk about
table 4.
Right, table number 4.
So the table 4.
That's so cool.
Table 4 is kind of the table that President Nixon, President number 37,
Wow.
used to love to sit at when he dined here at Valentino's. And you know, he lived here in Saddle River and also in Park Ridge, right down the road at the Bear's Nest, and he used to frequent you know, us quite a bit during his time here in Park Ridge.
So do you know the type of his favorite meal, or when he came here, what he liked to order? Or you can't tell? That might be top secret.
I actually don't know. Yeah, they had the Secret Service in the
Right there,
kitchen
yeah.
watching his food, right?
I'm sure.
Making sure
I'm
nobody's
sure
doing
of
anything
that.
funny with
I'm
that.
sure of that.
He did come in with Secret Service agents at one
Wow.
point, I think, and then from what I've heard, he kind of like started coming by himself and kind of
Okay.
you know.
Let me just dish the bodyguards. Right?
Exactly.
Just,
At one point.
That's so cool. All right. Well, you know what? Again, I just want to thank you, you know, for just us being here.
Well, thank you for having us
Right.
here.
So, are you going to show us? You're going to, you know, tell us how this meal is made.
Sure, yeah,
Zuppe de
definitely.
pesce. I'm
Zuppe
going to
de
put my
pesce.
hands on, right?
You gotta do
you
it Italian.
Zuppe
Zuppe
de
de
pesce.
pesce.
There you go. So you want to just begin?
So in terms of preparation, when my father's going to start cooking, we're going to use some nice extra virgin olive oil to start the stew up, garlic. We're going to start incorporating ingredients of clams, scallops, mussels. In a separate pan, we're going to pan sear some of the lobsters, the shrimp, and the scallops as well.
Okay.
And then kind of stew it up together. So you get nice aromas, fresh herbs in there. And it's a slow process, slow stewing. But when it comes out, it's like an amazing, delicious kind of
Can't wait.
wonderful dinner that we're going to
Awesome.
prepare for you today.
All right. So Angelo is going to demonstrate, you know, how to cut the lobster, right?
Yeah. So
As
the
we
lobster
prepare
tails
for
here, we have the
this.
cold water lobster tails, and he's going to be cutting them, preparing them for the zuppe de pesce.
Wow, that looks very fresh. So where do you get your seafood from, Jerry?
So a lot of seafood we get either delivered daily, fresh daily, or we go ourselves to the market down into the Bronx and Hunts Point, and we'll pick up a lot of stuff ourselves over there as well.
Okay, looks so beautiful.
Thank you.
So tell me again, where are you located here in Park Ridge? What's your address?
Address is 103 Spring Valley Road here in Park Ridge.
Okay, awesome. And you're open?
We're open 6 days a week. So Monday through Friday, we're open for lunch from 12 to 3, and then dinner from 4:30 to 10 p.m. And then Saturday dinner from 4 p.m. To 10 p.m.
It's great, awesome. This looks, I mean, it's not even cooked yet. It looks
Not
very
even cooked,
attractive
yeah.
to me. But
We'll do a little crudo next time.
There you go.
You know, Italian sushi.
Oh, so good, so good. All right, so what's next?
So we got the lobster tails. The lobsters are been split. From there, we're going to start searing the lobster tails off. We're going to sear the scallops off, and we're going to kind of sear also the shrimp off. After we got that all seared, we're going to start a combination of stewing out our clams, the mussels, and then incorporating calamari to that as well, and then the ingredients that we seared off too.
Awesome. All right, so I don't know, Jerry. This is looking awfully homemade.
Yeah,
to
we
me.
have some homemade linguine that
that's
we're
so
gonna
cool.
put underneath the frutta di mare today. So we make this in house
Amazing.
for this dish that we made for today. And then we're going to start pretty much right now. We're going to start the cooking process of combining certain ingredients, and we're going to start first off by searing off the lobsters, the scallops, and the shrimp. So my father's going to start cooking that up right now. We're searing everything off. So inside the pot, the pan here, we start off with some extra virgin olive oil in that pan. We're just going to wait for a few seconds just to kind of let it get warmed up a little bit. Once it gets to temperature, we'll start searing off the lobster tails and then adding the scallops and shrimp as well. We also have a second pot going here. The second pot, we're going to start cooking our clams, mussels, and calamari in. And then at one point, we're just going to incorporate the two, add some clam juice, white wine twig, garlic, a fresh homemade tomato sauce that we make here as well, and then fresh herbs to that.
So awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
It's good. So from start to finish, if we wanted to try this at home, but I'm probably going to go home and try to do this. I got to cook some zuppe de pesce.
Some zuppe de pesce.
So how long is this? How long should this take?
It's cooking itself. It doesn't take too long to cook. The cooking process of it. It's the preparation of everything. Peeling and deveining the shrimp.
Right.
Cleaning your calamari, cutting your calamari, washing your mussels and clams. Breaking down the lobster tails. So that's where it's the most kind of like time consuming is the preparation of it. If you're making a house made marinara sauce or tomato sauce, or if cutting your herbs and your garlic. So your prep time is kind of like where the most time consuming. But the cooking process isn't that long. It's not a long cook process. But once we start cooking, you'll see how it goes.
That's great. So back in Italy, now did you have a restaurant at home, or did you cook as well?
Two restaurants.
So you used to own two restaurants in New York. One was out on Long Island.
Okay.
Used to own the old Homestead Steakhouse out on Long Island.
Wow.
In the 1970s. And then you also had Mama Sorrento's in Forest Hill, Queens.
Beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful. Just so amazing, so amazing. So back in Italy, did someone in your family have a restaurant that inspired you to want to go into the field of?
I got to school in Italy, and then I come in America.
So that was your passion. That's good.
That's right.
That's good. So like I said, I've been to Italy once, and
We gotta get you back there.
Absolutely. The food.
And then you gotta start
very
talking
good.
Italian.
That's it. I'm gonna talk Italian.
I want some zuppe di pesce.
That's it.
Right now, my father's prepping some garlic. He has some garlic smashed up,
Okay.
and we're gonna start with that.
Now you go far and wide to gather these ingredients. I mean, you just don't go to your local supermarket. You go across the bridge.
Yeah.
Why do you go to these various places?
Well, in terms of trying to find the best product,
best.
you know what I mean? You always try to bring the freshest ingredients
right.
in-house, and you try to work with purveyors and markets that could provide you with those fresh ingredients.
Nice.
Everything that we do bring in here is fresh, and you have to find good markets and good purveyors that could supply you that.
Absolutely. So now we're taking, these are the clams,
clams.
right?
You get the little
We're
neck
gonna put the
clams,
clams in.
So we're doing little neck clams.
So is this going to cook it? It's going to open the clams, or
That's
what's
going to open the clams
Gotcha,
up, correct?
okay.
So you smell that garlic.
It smells so
Yeah.
good. So good.
That's the best. Throw white wine. A good Chardonnay or Chablis is good to use.
I don't know if we should be giving that to the clams. We should probably.
I know we should be drinking
There
that. I
you
think.
go.
I think later on when we sit down and when we eat this, we'll enjoy a nice.
That'll be awesome.
Right. So now we're gonna start searing the lobster tails.
Okay, wow. Okay, so now we're searing the lobster tails.
So we're searing the lobster tails.
Very nice.
Kind of give them a little color on the outside.
So for those watching at home, so is this like a 10-minute sear? Like how?
I always say just look at it. Every ingredient has its own timing. I would just say look at it.
Yeah.
Depends on how high the fire is, but not even
looks
probably
so
not
good.
even a
Not
couple
even-
minutes here.
yeah, that looks
and they're
amazing.
done.
Yeah.
We're gonna add some of the day boat U10 scallops to that as well.
Wow. This is really smelling and looking good, folks. So you're adding the calamari.
Now he's adding the calamari to it.
Now you know
We have TNT calamari, which means tubes and tentacles.
Oh, okay.
We like to use both.
Uh-oh. I think the calamari doesn't want
jumped
to
out.
be cooked.
So we're jumping out on us tonight.
That's it. Wow. Now, so I'm going to ask you a question. I actually ask everybody that posts, that I actually have as guests. Now, when you go home, do you cook or does your wife cook?
I do cook at home.
You do?
I like cooking at home as well, yeah. And now we're going to add the shrimp to that. And we do it a certain process with everything.
Nice.
We try to add ingredients and step at a time, just due to the fact that certain things take a little longer.
Yes.
Some things are don't take as long to cook. So a lobster tail would be like the longest, followed by the scallop, followed by the shrimp.
Right.
You never want to overcook an ingredient because then it dries it out.
Gotcha. It's good.
A little.
Wow. Wow. So what is this you're reaching for?
This is clam juice.
Okay, clam juice. Looks like pepper, right?
This is a house-made
tomato, yeah, tomato
filet di pomodoro that we make in-house. And this is a house-made tomato sauce. We're going to combine the two together.
Okay.
This is a little bit more of like a plum tomato, where this is more like a refined tomato.
Gotcha.
A little bit more garlic to that.
Now, I know that you mentioned also, we're not cooking it today, but steaks, right?
Steaks.
So the steaks are aged?
So we have dry aged steaks. We dry age in-house, 28 days in-house. Right now we're dry aging porterhouses, cowboy ribeyes that we're cutting out, New York strips, and then we also have filet mignon that we don't dry age, but we'll bring in like bone-in fillets for special. Kansas City strips we'll break down a shell steak and do a bone-in New York strip steak as well. So, and then like I said, we have our pasta dishes that we do, and then our different assortment of seafood dishes as well.
So what's your process for aging those steaks over there?
So like I said, we dry age them in the house. We try to keep them in a temperature-controlled refrigerator. Try to keep that temperature around 37-degree range. So the aging process kind of tenderizes the meat itself, kind of break down all the fats.
I think Dad is calling us over here.
So we're going to do a little bit more wine in there.
Looking good, smelling good.
Yeah.
I have the salt,
A little salt and pepper.
Salt and pepper, here you go.
And anytime you're dealing with seafood, don't want to put too much salt and pepper or anything. The seafood itself has a little bit of, especially when we're working with clams, it already has a little bit of the salt.
So he's just using a little dash, right?
And then he's going to put a little crushed hot pepper.
Okay,
now that's
awesome.
up to you. More if you like something a little bit more spicy, a little bit more picante, a little hotter, put more. If you want just a little bit of heat, put a little bit. We always like to put a little bit into the zuppe di pesce.
clam juice.
And then clam juice.
Nice. So amazing. So what's your favorite seller here in the restaurant?
Well,
most popular,
one of the most popular dishes is the zuppe di pesce that we do. We usually bring that in as more of a special. We have something similar to it on our menu that we call a fisherman stew. Doesn't have quite all the ingredients that we're putting into this dish, but most of them are in there as well. And then I would say most of our steaks. Our steaks move very well here. We use prime meat We cook everything in a infrared broiler, high temperature, creates a beautiful crust around those sticks.
Lower down the fire.
And then now he's just going to lower down all the heat to kind of make everything simmer.
Nice.
Want to add the mussels to
Wow.
this one?
Incredible.
And the last thing we're going to incorporate are the mussels. The mussels usually open up the quickest and the fastest. Clams take a little bit of time to kind of open up. So we're going to wait for those to open up. Once they start opening up, we're going to incorporate the mussels in that, and then finish off with the house-made sauces and some fresh herbs.
So what are the other ingredients
So
you
we
still have
over
yet
here,
to add?
yeah. So over here we have our filete di pomodoro that we make in house, and we also have our house-made tomato sauce that we make. We're going to incorporate these two ingredients. After that, we have some fresh basil that we're going to put in there, some fresh thyme, parsley, and we're going to incorporate those ingredients in there as well. A little cracked black
good.
pepper.
So are we going for a third generation of
Maybe.
yeah.
Maybe. We'll see what happens if my daughter wants to get it.
There you go. Because I noticed your daughter, your wife, they're
Yeah,
actually
they're out
here
there, yeah.
too as well. So
Yeah.
it's very, very nice. Very nice.
Now we're incorporating the mussels to the dish.
Wow. It's kind of like a smorgasbord, right? Of just
Yeah.
seafood.
Seafood,
right?
yep. So in Italian, zuppa means soup, pesce means fish.
Right.
So soup of fish.
Yes.
Um,
And that's what it
popular
is,
dish.
folks.
Popular dish during the holidays. Especially during Christmas time. A lot of Italians like to cook that as like the 7 fishes and that stuff. So
Now we have the salt and the water.
now we're going to start boiling. We have water boiling over here that we're going to cook our pasta in. We're going to add some salt to the water. Always salt your water when you're cooking pasta. So we're going to put a little bit of tomato sauce. We'll incorporate that into the clams and the mussels and the calamari. And the same process is going to be with the other seafood that we're cooking in that separate pan as well. So for something like this, a lot of people like to say stay with white when you're eating seafood. You don't have to do that. You could also find, but if you were drinking white, maybe a nice Pinot Grigio, dried Pinot Grigio would go well. Even a Chardonnay, maybe a Chardonnay, Italian Chardonnay that's not been oaked, that's been done in stainless. If you want to go with red, Pinot Noir would work well. And then we're going to also add some plum tomato.
Wow,
as
that
well.
looks so
So it's more of the plum
amazing.
tomato is more of a chunkier style tomato, where this is more refined and pureed. That's kind of more of a heartier, chunkier tomato.
And you guys make this here yourself?
We make this in-house
Just
here, yeah.
Awesome.
We
great.
jar it in house. We use it for our own use at home as well. We might start selling it in the future. We'll see.
Hey, that's it.
I'll bring some over to your house.
That's right. That's right.
There you can see the mussels are starting to open up. Everything is kind of
Awesome.
coming.
That's
Everything is
so
coming.
beautiful, yep.
Everything is coming together.
Nice.
And then the same thing in that pan.
Wow, that looks so tasty. I like beautiful, color. to
Yeah,
it.
great color, great smell. I wish the camera could
Yeah,
sense
right?
smell, but
It's
it
true.
doesn't.
It
Right?
smells very, very good.
And like I was saying before, in wines, if we want to do a red, like a nice Pinot Noir, would go with that, or even a Chianti. I could do a nice Chianti with it, or a Super Tuscan might work as well with this kind of dish. So Chiantis are from the Tuscan region of Italy. Same thing with Super Tuscans. There's a lot of different variations to this. So there's the frutti di mare. Some places call it a fisherman's stew. Some cioppino is another. That was more of like the American. In California, they kind of came up with a new way of doing the frutti di mare and kind of incorporating a couple different ingredients while doing that.
So what sort of desserts do you tend to offer here too?
So we make pretty much all our desserts in-house.
You do?
Yeah, we have a wonderful
Wow.
semifreddo which is almost like a semi-frozen chocolate mousse. Eats like a mousse, but the refreshes of a gelato, I would say.
Nice.
Then we have a panna cotta. We do a key lime pie panna cotta. That's kind of taking a twist of your traditional key lime pie, but we did it to kind of keep the Italian influence on it. We did it as a panna cotta, which in Italian just means cooked cream. So we do a key lime pie panna cotta. We also have a New York style cheesecake that we do. Different assortment of gelatos.
Great.
Espresso creme brulee. So now we're going to start incorporating the clams, the mussel combination into the other pan and kind of blend that all together and make that all kind of sweet out together. Incorporate all the flavors.
Here comes the soup.
Here comes the soup,
Zuppa.
exactly. The zuppa.
Wow.
And the last process after that is going to be cooking the pasta.
So
and
this-
since it's fresh pasta, it cooked up pretty
Very
quick.
quickly.
Yeah.
So this meal obviously is traditional to your home
Correct.
country.
Yeah, from Italy. Yeah.
Yeah,
So like I said earlier, Mola di Bari is known for their seafood. It's a big port town. There's it's a big fishing industry in that area.
Very interesting.
So that was one of the reasons we decided to kind of even do this dish today. Kind of
Absolutely.
pay homage to
To Dad's legacy,
dad
your
and-
legacy, your family's.
and to where we're
awesome.
from in Italy.
I've always liked to say in my shows that, the world will be so much of a better place if we all sat down and ate together.
And that's
we
where,
realize we're
that's-
so much alike more than we're different,
And that's
right?
where a lot of Sunday dinners came from, with the Italian Sunday dinners. We're going to add some fresh parsley now to this. You always try to add all the green herbs toward the end. You don't want to do it too early.
Right.
Kind of the coloring
Cook
of
it
it.
up, right,
Yep.
right.
And then some fresh basil.
Very pretty. Wow, you should see the beautiful color here. It's just beautiful.
I'm going to start cooking up that. Right over here. And now I'm going to cook that pasta. Like I said, since we're using fresh pasta today, it doesn't take too long to cook up.
So when you make fresh pasta like that, what's the shelf life? You have to freeze it. How long can it last?
You could freeze it. We try to keep it where we try to make it fresh every week. We have somebody who comes in and does it for us, one of our pasta guys, and but as long as you store it the right way, it'll last. You'll get a good week out of it. We're almost ready for everything.
Amazing. Unbelievable. Delicious.
So now we got the pasta all cooked off and strained out. We incorporated a little bit of tomato sauce to the pasta that we're cooking up. After that, we're going to plate the pasta, and then we're going to place all the seafood on top of the pasta.
Unbelievable, folks. Wow. So it looks like you added a little bit of tomato sauce in there. Nice. To give it a little bit of color. Beautiful.
Color. And
Just
then we're
beautiful.
going to use a little bit of this sauce also on it
Wow.
at the end.
Yeah.
It's going to finish off really nice.
So you know what's really, I know you get this. What's really great about cooking, it's not only the food and the taste, but it's also the presentation.
Exactly.
Right?
I'm putting
It's
everything
just-
together.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we made a nice large platter of this
Yes.
tonight, so we could all eat abbondanza.
Abbondanza. Yeah. Love it, love it. Oh, that's so cool. So what do you remember about growing up? Sundays, meals.
Yeah, well,
tell us a little something about that, because that's
This
you a lot of fun.
sometimes if it wasn't a Sunday ragu, it would be almost like a Sunday zuppe de pesce or something like that. In that sense, if we cooked on Sundays, so family dinners, Early dinner, 2 o'clock. So always pasta, a certain type of ragu. Either if it wasn't a beef stew or a beef ragu, it would be something like this. And the same thing on holidays. We did a lot of that on holidays as well.
It's nice. So I got to tell you, obviously I'm not Italian, but I'm Italian at heart. But my first meal, I remember that's my favorite. Still, actually one of my favorites. Spaghetti and meatballs.
Hey, you can't go wrong with good spaghetti and meatballs.
Love it, just love it.
Definitely, you got to try our meatballs out over here.
Oh, I'm sure they're great.
We have some fantastic meatballs that we do. It's an old recipe that my father kind of brought over from how my grandmother used to cook it in Italy and everything.
Now you mentioned the word ragu. Does that, because I when I hear ragu, I think of
Never
the
call it
brand.
gravy.
Right. So ragu is Italian for
like a rich tomato sauce. That's
See, I learned something new. Didn't know that. That's good.
Like kind of this would almost be classified as a ragu or tomato sauce, or
That's
that we
great.
stew down with beef.
Yeah.
If you're making even like a bolognese sauce or a meat sauce.
Very nice. Look at that. That is so incredible. Everything looks so fresh.
Yeah.
So delicious.
When you cook with good ingredients, it makes everything easier.
We're just so grateful that you actually had us here today.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very
again,
much
you want
for
to tell
coming
us
in.
where you guys are located so everybody would know?
We're here in Park Ridge, New Jersey, 103 Spring Valley Road in Park Ridge.
Okay, awesome. So come on down, please. This is great restaurant.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you for doing this.
Absolutely. We are
Thank you
pleasure.
for coming in.
Our pleasure.
So we're almost done here. And after everything is plated, we're going to finish it off with some fresh herbs on top of it to get a little color and vibrancy to the dish.
The sauce looks amazing.
Sauces, yeah.
Soup, yeah. Wow. Amazing. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that work of art. Beautiful. Great job.
And there you have it, guys. Our zuppe di pesce.
Zuppe di pesce. Awesome.
Let's eat now.
All right, manja.
Manja.
We are here at a very special place in this amazing building. We are at the southeast corner.
Correct.
And there is a table here, which is the most requested table. And Jerry is going to explain what this table is.
So this is table number 4. Number 4 here at 103 Prime at Valentino's is the most requested table due to a few reasons. And one of the reasons is because former President Nixon used to dine here, and this was his preferred table of choice when dining at Valentino's. So with that, a lot of guests always request the fact to have that table, kind of to pay homage to President Nixon, and that he used to be a frequent diner here when it was Valentino's of Park Ridge. So this is the corner table. We have some photographs from his presidential debate with John F. Kennedy. We have a lot of photographs of him throughout the building that kind of pay homage to him and to his memory of dining here at 103 Prime.
So this one of the most famous residents of Park Ridge came here to have an elegant meal, to have some peace.
Correct.
I can imagine him being in this corner, maybe Secret Service people being
he used to like to sit in this corner table. He liked us back into the corner, and then a couple tables away, Secret Service would always kind of be by his side.
Jerry, this food looks amazing.
Thank
and
you,
it was so
thank you.
great to see you show Trevor how you create this. I think people can try to do this, but I think it's better to come
You can do it at home. I think you can try it at home, you know?
Exactly. Well, we were talking about all this wonderful seafood and what we call all this, and I just remembered the name for lobster, aragosta.
Aragosta,
right?
yeah,
Yes,
correct,
absolutely.
correct.
Well, tell us how do we eat this? What are these wine pairings?
Sure,
and
definitely.
explain what that platter
So I
is.
brought a little antipasto out, a little tomato, prosciutto, and burrata mozzarella. And then we finished off with some fresh basil on top, extra virgin olive oil,
delicious.
and a balsamic reduction for that.
It looks
And
amazing. What is burrata mozzarella?
Burrata is a mozzarella that almost has like a creamy ricotta interior to it.
Yes,
So
it
it's a-
looks that way.
yeah, so
I've
it's-
never seen
Yeah, it's
that.
the burrata
I'm
mozzarella.
ready to try.
It's a little not as firm, very kind of like a little looser mozzarella, and you almost have the filling inside of it actually is called stracciatella. Is the
Okay.
filling inside the burrata mozzarella. So it's very similar to almost like a ricotta film, not as dense though.
Nice. I can't wait to see what that's like. And what are these wine pairings?
So the wine pairings that we brought out to enjoy this wonderful meal today, we brought out a white. It's the San Angelo Pinot Grigio from Banfi. And then we also have a Chianti. It's the Borgo Scopetto Chianti Classico,
Amazing. Well,
both from Italy.
they say that white wine goes with fish
Sure.
and red wine goes with anything.
Anything? Yep, it's true.
You
It's
can
true.
always eat red wine.
Everyone
Right.
says like you have to have white wine with fish, but you don't have to have
No.
it. Like I was saying earlier to Trevor in the kitchen, you could especially with a dish like this when you incorporate all these great flavors and you have the red sauce in there, you could use a nice lighter red wine, dry red wine to kind of cut those flavors a little bit.
Wonderful. Well, the zuppe di pesce looks amazing, and we were talking about this story right before we were filming. How when I was in Italy, I ordered a seafood dish, and the waiter would not permit me to put Parmesan on it because we don't
Big
do that.
no Parmesan.
And so I've learned that, and it doesn't need it. It does not need it.
But however you like to have it, but yeah, it's in Italy it's a big no to put cheese on seafood.
Seafood.
Right, exactly.
And the
Well,
pasta with seafood with just sauce.
Well-
No cheese.
no cheese. Well, I'm educated now.
Yeah, now you know.
All right. So,
Yeah.
in the tradition in this house, we talked about before. You were talking with Trevor about how this used to be perhaps a restaurant called. Because there was maybe we can show this. There was a matchbook found that called this place Luigino Ristorante Il Generalissimo.
Correct.
And
Right.
yes,
Good
I've
job,
been
good job.
practicing. I
You-
practiced that
you
a
know,
lot.
I can't
So-
still get that one. That's a hard one.
Practiced. And there's a rumor that, and we don't know if it's true with the timing, but that Enrico Caruso came here and was a customer.
I've heard that as well. That during that time and era, and during when that restaurant was here, that he did frequent here quite a bit.
Amazing.
So some history in
maybe
these walls, yeah.
Maybe he came out on the train, and that he named this Luigino guy Il Generalissimo, which means like
The general.
the most general of generals, right? It's like the total general. I don't know. Well, I guess it was the tradition here to
yeah.
have amazingness.
No, it's a great history. Great, if these walls could talk, I always say, what would they say? But great history behind the building. Wonderful, fantastic restaurants have always housed this property, this building, throughout all the years.
And maybe there are even Nixon tapes in here.
Yeah, you never know. Maybe that's where we'll find the
Maybe
Watergate tapes,
Maybe
right?
the Secret Service. Well, all right. So shall we chow down?
Yeah, let's pour some
All
wine
right.
first. We'll start off with the Pinot Grigio.
So good.
Thank you. So I'm not reaching across you.
This to you, Angelo.
Good.
So
maybe
let's
we-
salute.
Fine.
Salute to
Ching ching, salute.
Familia.
Familia. Chendan in
Familia.
Italian.
Grazie.
Thank you for doing this today.
Oh,
Great.
absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Angelo.
Thank you.
He prepared this incredible
Salud.
dish.
Enjoy.
Yes.
If you want, I can go make hot.
I'll start off with everybody a little bit of the burrata mozzarella,
Good. Yeah, absolutely.
tomato.
Thank you.
Want a little prosciutto on yours?
I'll take it just a tiny bit. Why not?
yeah,
Thank you.
Very nice.
I'm going to try this cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that is different. Different than other mozzarella.
So yeah, like with the burrata mozzarella, you get the
Very
nice creamy texture. You know, you get the saltiness of the prosciutto.
So now we're going to eat this soup.
Yeah, now we're gonna start. We're gonna get to jump into that.
This is the part where the crew comes in that has been watching you cook everything and takes part in it.
Yes.
So we're inviting the crew to come in and
Yeah,
when
come on down, guys.
they-
Come on down, and we'll
and-
enjoy the feast over here.
Yes.
yes, and as they approach, I'm gonna go for my protecting
Yeah,
right out of
yes. Aragosta. Make sure you get in the
right,
Aragosta
exactly.
right now.
Okay.
And we're gonna share this Aragosta.
mia.
All right.
Everybody has a plate?
There is, and Howard, you can share this Aragosta with me.
Yes, sounds
See this? We've just
good. Ooh, a tail. We got a tail.
easy to divide, I think.
Yeah.
I'll grab somebody's plate. I'll put.
There you go. I divided a lobster tail.
Okay. I don't mind having those.
Clams on yours. You want some clams over there? I'll get some clams.
Oh my god, so good.
Get you over here.